So I am at an estimate right now, and we have an old Amana system, Goodman, that splits off and goes to 2 air handlers. So this is pretty nuts. Let's see, it's a 4-ton, and it's gotta be R22. Can't see. R22 factory charged. It's hard to see, but 48. And here is one of our units on some sagging, unsupported 14x14 ductwork with a 14-inch flex. And you could see the other line set that runs across the ceiling here and is going to the other indoor unit. And here is our other indoor unit. It looks to be an identical setup. Let's see if I see a size on that flex. I see a 14-inch. And then we got this one in here, which probably 14x14. So the ductwork doesn't seem ideal, but looks like she's gonna need 2 independent systems. The outdoor unit is supposedly shot, and one of the indoors works. But yeah, this is gonna be a lot. And the access into here is not good. Let's take a measurement on the access right here. Just height and width. And then I'll have video to remember it.
We're at 26 right here.
So call that 24.
And we were at 31 right here.
It's 24 by 30. That's gonna be pretty tight. Wow. Crazy, that's a TXV system too. You could see the capillary tubing with the sensing bulb. Wonder how these worked. Okay, so that was pretty interesting. I've seen it, I think, maybe one other time before, but it's not something that we see often, having multiple indoor units on one outdoor unit. They have 3 systems total. 2 first floor air handlers and a first floor condenser with another second floor condenser and a second floor air handler. But we're gonna get some pricing together for replacement options. I'm thinking going with ducted mini split units might be the best option, but it's gonna be a little bit funky with the ductwork. With the 14x14s, you might have to just redo all the ductwork, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so here for 2 units not keeping up, this is discharging ambient temperature, not warm at all. This is incredibly hot. And filter, our coil's pretty dirty. Okay, so here's the unit. Got the cover off. This particular unit had literally 50 psi on the suction side, so real low. It's not awful on all sides, but it's certainly not clean. So I'm not gonna take all the panels off. I'll leave the back one on because we could still access it, but I want to get most of this junk out of here. And we got the New Bright coil cleaner, so I'll pull the fan off of this one and get going. And I went to disconnect this fan and look at this contactor. It's not even held on there, so we'll get that screwed on. And wow, look at this one. That's nuts. It's literally a fur coat because it's actual dog fur. I'm gonna die of allergies here. Holy crap, that is insane.
Like an inch.
It's literally like an inch thick. It's seriously raised off the unit that much. How's this for a fur coat? Okay, so we're brushing it off now, and then we can rinse it with the water. Thankfully there's no coil on the backside, so we could really get all this off. Try to go down with it rather than up. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so Peter just put the chemical onto this one. It's starting to foam up already on this side. That's the side that he started with. And we'll let that eat through and break down all this crud. You can see how dark the soap is turning. I don't know if you can see it, but we'll rinse this one while we wait for that to set in. Okay, so I ran out of the sealant, the easy seal that we like to use. So I ran to the supply house, which thankfully was 5 minutes away, while Peter continues on cleaning with the units. So it wasn't going for long at all. And we can get that system charged up, put the sealant in, and hopefully move on to the next. He also had 2 incredibly filthy plugged filters that needed to go, so I pulled them out, and we'll see how the system operates without filters rather than keep the dirty ones in, and he's got to replace them. Okay, so we got this one all hooked up and put back together. You can see we're in the 50s, but I have one hose set up, and I'm gonna just start right off with a pound. So squeeze in there and start filling it. So I'm at 2 pounds, 3 ounces, and you can see our evaporator temperature has gone up, and our subcooling has gone up, our high side temperature has gone up, but looks like we're going to be adding a good amount more still to bring down that superheat and bring up that subcooling. Okay, so here are our numbers at almost 4 pounds. It is about 90 degrees outside right now, so it looks like we're still going to need more. Definitely discharging heat now, as opposed to what it was doing before, which was nothing. And reeks of dog pee. Absolutely reeks. They've been peeing on the coils. This one's starting to become brittle and falling apart. This one was recently replaced because of that. So something needs to be done about that. And same thing on our second floor unit. No subcooling, low evaporator, high superheat. We're low on charge on this unit too. And we got roughly an 80-degree return. And 69 on our supply, so we're coming down 68. Nice. Okay, so we finished up with that. They took 4 pounds of refrigerant, 2 sealants. Oh, I forgot to charge for the chemical. But now we're headed on to the next one. It's brutally hot out, like delirious hot with the sun beating down. Next one is a system that was frozen that Mike was at, and he pulled the disconnect, and we're coming now for it to see what's going on with that. So system's off. Here's our standing pressures. Not reading anything on our suction line temperature. And 10-degree difference on the temperature of the line and the refrigerant, but we'll see what happens when we turn it on. Okay, well, we got a high superheat that's just getting higher. Suction line temperature bouncing around. Our suction line pressure seems to be about where it needs to be, but we'll let it run and see what happens. So we went inside, tested fan and capacitor, and those were okay. Cleaned the filter, and I'd like to see the superheat a little bit lower, but we're still not freezing. But I'm thinking this is going to be a charge issue. Definitely don't think it's an airflow issue. But we'll see what happens as the pressures stabilize. It just turned back on after testing everything. Okay, I don't know what happened to the footage I recorded, but I guess it didn't record. But we ended up adding refrigerant. We added 1 pound, and those were our pressures. And we were staying pretty steady around there. Our discharge temperature went up to 104, and our supply temperature was 55 with a 75-degree return or 76-degree return. So should be all good. But I did tell them that I think they would benefit greatly installing a return grill somewhere else to give it more airflow, because it's only pulling from one room for the return. It'd be nice to pull it from a more centralized area on like the other side of the wall or even on the door. So I told them we'll get them a price together for that, because I'd like to see that to give it a lot more airflow. And And I think that if we give it more airflow, then we might bring that superheat up again. And if that's the case, then maybe it'll need more. But we'll see what happens. And we're heading on to the next. Okay, so we got a drain pan full of water, a trap full of water. It's pretty nasty. And a broken drain right here, which hopefully that should be an easy fix. Peter's grabbing the shop vac. We'll vacuum up this. First, we'll try to vacuum up the clog, but then we'll vacuum up the water and we'll treat everything and do what we normally do. Okay, not going great. The shop vac's dead. Won't work even with new batteries. This female adapter wasn't glued and it was cracked. The male adapter, so I had to swap that. I think I got the line unclogged. I still have to unclog the emergency line. But Peter should be here shortly with Mike's shop vac. And then I gotta do something about this mess of tape. And this unit is absolutely disgusting. With sludge, mold. It's a nightmare. The evaporator coil is disgusting. Holy cow. That's nuts. Okay, so after cutting it out, we were able to get that male adapter out, place it with a new one, a little piece and a coupling. This we glued in, cleared out the drain line, water tested, treated the pan and the drain line, and heavily sprayed this with evaporator coil cleaner, but due to its age and its current condition, it's time to consider replacement. It's an R22 system, so, but it's pretty beat up, as you can see, and not really well cared for. It must have been leaking for a long time to get to this point, but it is what it is. Okay, so we finished up there. We're heading out, and we're heading on to the next, which is Jandy pool heater. But that was the weirdest customer ever. He locked us in the attic. There's no way it locked on its own. Not how it works. Well, he's the only one there. But that's gonna be it for this video. I think we're gonna make the Jandy video in and of itself, so hopefully you enjoyed watching. Like the video if you liked it, comment any advice or criticism or feedback, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.